Hey, hey, how you doing? I'm at the beach, as you can see. I decided to just, come to the beach today because why the fuck not? Like, it is a beautiful day. It is summertime. I love coming to the beach. I love hearing the waves. Do you hear that? I don't know if you can hear that, but that sounds amazing. But I wanted to do this video at the beach today. I tried to do this video at the house yesterday, but I couldn't. It was too many distractions, too many noises, and I just wanted to be able to be in a headspace where I'm by myself and I can be able to get what I need off my chest. I got a lot to get off my chest. Like, as you can see, the title of this video is yeah, I'm going through a lot of changes in life right now, and they're all blessings in disguise, but it's also like happening to me very, very quickly. So I wrote down everything that I wanted to talk about today so I don't get sidetracked, because I get sidetracked a lot. I could talk, okay? So I wrote down all of my points that I want to make in this video and just share with everyone on my channel. I have a really hard time opening up, especially when it comes to social media, because I don't know, having people just know about me it's kind of like, I don't know, it's a little weird to me, to be honest. So I'm choosing this year to just be a little bit more open than I am. So let's see, I graduated cosmetology school. Yeah, I graduated cosmetology school. That is what we're going to talk about first, before, like, the whole rundown. So I know the title of this video literally says I am moving in with my parents at 27. It is very true. I am moving in with my parents at 27 years old. I'm not ashamed about it because I mean, shit happens, bro. Life be lifing. Like, honestly, life be lifing. The reason why I decided to just accept it, before I used to just be really so ashamed about it, because I just didn't, I don't know, I always used to think that, okay, I could be on my own without living with my people. Like, I was always around my family growing up, always around them, no matter what. Like, even if we argued, fought, like, whatever, we were always around each other, and we had to adjust to that. So when I got the opportunity to go to college back in 2018, I was like, okay, nice, like, I get to be away from my family and go back whenever I wanted to, I got the luxury of doing that. And then, ended up staying in DeKalb for 8 fucking years. It doesn't even feel like it's been 8 years, but it's been 8 years, bro. 8 years being in DeKalb is crazy. It's so crazy. But yeah, I learned a lot living by myself in my own apartment. I got my first apartment. I was living at NIU. I went to college at NIU before I dropped out. I was living in their apartments for some time. I had to get out because when I dropped out, I couldn't really live there unless I was going to school there, and I just didn't like the roommate situation. I didn't like the fact that I kept having to get different roommates if one decided to just leave and shit. So I got tired of that, and I just wanted my own space, and I ended up getting my first apartment at I think I was 23 turning 24. So I was very, very, very grateful for that experience. It was definitely great while it lasted. I was living in that apartment for 3 years. So I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot within responsibilities and just learning how to take care of myself, take care of the apartment, learn like having bills and shit, working until it was time for me to actually think about my career instead of working. Because when I dropped out of NIU, I started just working, only making money. That's the only thing that I really wanted to do, was just make some money and have some money aside, you know? And so I was doing that. And then when I was at my last job working for someone that wasn't a career, I was contemplating on going back to school. I was contemplating on going back to NIU, but I was like, you know what, I can't. Like, I don't see myself doing that, because I was a psychology major. I enjoyed learning about people and the way the mind works, but it just wasn't something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Like, I am a very biased person, so being unbiased in that type of an environment, it wasn't gonna work out for me. Like, it just wasn't something that I see myself doing, you know? And so I just got sidetracked, you know, my brain just be. So yeah, when I was at my last job, I looked up cosmetology school. Something told me to do something with hair, go to beauty school. At the time, I was already like making content, like doing hair videos and shit like that. Like, even growing up, when I was on my hair journey, I used to have people like come to me, ask me, oh, what product should I use in my hair, this and that. Like, I was already interested in doing things like that, learning how to take care of hair and all that. So it wasn't until that moment where I was like, okay, I want to go to beauty school, but I'm scared. I was definitely scared, because I mean, who isn't scared of like pushing themselves to do something they'd never fucking done before? And so I didn't pick up on it that day. And months later, after I had quit that job and everything, because I quit that job and my life went different from there. Like, I had to completely start my life over 2 years ago, as far as like independence and everything, and deciding what I wanted to do with my life. And so I decided that year, 2 years ago, in 2024, around this same time actually, that I wanted to go to beauty school. So I decided to tour. I had a sign. I got a sign, a text message saying, like, from this first school that I went to, saying, oh, we still have spots if you want to tour, this and that. I'm like, is this a sign? So I didn't tell nobody, mind you. I didn't tell nobody, because why? I don't like telling people the things that I go through, because people like giving you opinions when you don't need their opinions or feedback or anything like that. So I didn't tell my family. I didn't even tell my mom. My mom is my best friend. I didn't even tell her ass. I didn't even tell my dad. I didn't tell nobody, not even like friends at the time, nobody, because I wanted this to be something that I wanted to decide for myself. And so when I went and I toured and everything, I enjoyed it. I just thought about the fact of me doing hair and helping people take care of their hair and everything. That's exactly what I thought about when I envisioned myself being like toured around and everything. But low-key, that school was ass as fuck. I will explain about that later, but I didn't think about the school. I thought about myself, because I thought about like seeing myself like being a stylist, you know? And so I said yes. I said I want to come back, sign papers, this and that. So after I like went, signed papers and everything, I decided to tell my parents. Told my parents, and I started telling everybody, I'm going to beauty school, I'm going to cosmetology school, I'm going to be a cosmetologist. If you don't know what cosmetology is, cosmetology studies hair, skin, nails. Some schools do lashes, not all of them do, but they do everything. Cosmetologists can do everything. So I definitely was happy. I was so happy. When I started school, it was great. I started October 2024. I met my teacher, who is now a family member to me. I think of her as my auntie. I met her. I didn't even know she was gonna be black. When I seen her on the first day, I'm like, I have a black teacher. And you know, I know all skin folk ain't kin folk, but the way she was coming, I knew I was gonna fuck with her for life, because I needed to be under her skin. Like, she knew every fucking thing. Like, she told us about her experiences, shit like that. I'm like, okay, that's somebody I need to talk to. And so Fast forward, it was cool, everything was good, I was enjoying it when my first time there, and then my teacher decided to tell us that she was gonna be leaving and everything, and I'm like, damn, she's leaving. There's something going wrong. There's a reason why she's leaving. But I kind of peeped how the environment was. Mind you, this is a predominantly white school. We are in DeKalb, by the way. DeKalb. We are in DeKalb. And so that whole thing had me questioning why she was leaving. So on her last day, me and her was talking, and I was getting all the tea, and she was telling me every single thing, and I'm like, I knew it. I knew it. And I told my mom the reason why she was leaving. I told my mom. I told my mom, I said, Ma, I think she's leaving because so and so and so. And then when she told me, I said I was right. I be knowing, bro. And so when I was talking to her, she told me something that stuck with me. She was like, you're not going to get the education that you want being at this school. She was like, I suggest you look into the school that I'm going to, and if you want, you can transfer. I did exactly that. I followed her. And if I didn't do that, I would not have the opportunities that I have today in my life if it wasn't for her. When I went there, when I went to the same school that she went to, everything was great. I completed every fucking thing, and she was by my side through everything. I was always up under her, bro. I was always talking to her. All the bitches at that fucking school hated that I was on her ass. It was because I was black, and then on top of that, motherfuckers is like, oh, I'm always kissing her ass. Bitch, I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get in this life. I'm trying to do the things I need to do in order to elevate. Y'all ass want to sit here and do bullshit. Like, the fuck? So, I don't want to get into that. Because fuck that school. Fuck them people at that school. I've only met 3 cool ass people at that fucking school that I still talk to this fucking day. But yeah, bro, I graduated from that shit. And while I was in school, I was working in a salon. My teacher, Miss T, she found out that I wanted to work in her salon after I graduated. I kept praying that I was gonna work in her salon after I graduated cosmetology school. She ended up presenting me with a job the day after I prayed, and I became a natural hairstylist in her salon while I was still working at school. So I was building my clientele and everything. It was very hard because I didn't know what to do at first. So I done my research and did everything, but things got better as I kept educating myself and applying myself, because this is something that I want to do. Like, this is my passion. And so working in a salon while I was still in school was amazing. I was making fucking money doing the thing that I love, and I was still in school getting the education and doing clients and shit at school too. Because my schedule was part-time, so I was able to be at school and then after that do clients and shit like that. It was great. I ended up building about like maybe 20 people that kept coming back to me. Yeah, man, in a whole year. Shit is fucking great. So fast forward, because this story is, I still have a lot more to talk about. I don't want to just get too detailed, but I definitely graduated school on the day I said I was gonna fucking graduate. I manifested the fuck out of shit. When I tell you the power of just your tongue, the power of just affirmations, the power of just writing things down and just envisioning yourself doing exactly what you want to do, where you want to do it, fucking works, especially with God guiding you. God is the reason why I am able to do everything I am able to do today. Without God, I would not be where I'm at. I would not. And when I tell you this has been a fucking journey. Like, it's been a journey. This has been a journey. I graduated on the last day of Black History Month. I made history being the black student that graduated on February 28th, 2026 at Hair Professional School. The last day of Black History Month, I graduated. I wrote that shit down, and I studied that shit, and I kept saying that every single day. I am graduating on this day. I was supposed to graduate in March. Our school had this week where we weren't at school because some fuck shit was going on with their fucking some shit, like their filter or whatever. So I had to make up those hours. I kept finessing their ass because I was a perfect attendance student. They was trying to tell me I do not need to make up hours, and what did I do? I ended up figuring out ways to have my ass stay late so I can make up my hours so I can graduate on February 28th. I was not trying to graduate on March 1st, March whatever, because I was going on a trip after my graduation. Literally the same day I graduated, I was leaving that same night to go to Colorado. So I had to do what I had to do, and I did the fuck out of that, and I fucking graduated. I graduated with so many fucking certificates and everything. I am blessed. I am blessed. Literally, I am blessed. So graduating made me feel great. I waited a month to take my test because I was just very nervous with everything going on, especially because I left so quick. I wanted to make sure that I was studying every single fucking day, because this test, I was not finna take this shit 2 times, 3 times. Do you have money to drop 195 every single fucking time you fail this test? And then they give you 3 times to fail this test. And if you fail this test all 3 times, right, you have to go back to school and complete 250 hours. If you go back and you fail this test a 4th time, you have to complete 1,500 hours all over again. I said it's a one and done. I manifested that I was going to pass this exam with an 80 and above. 80 is gonna be my standard. As long as I get an 80, I'm cool. And what did I get? I got a fucking 80. I got a fucking 80. Fucking 80. The reason why I'm so proud of that is because test taking for me is very hard. I get very anxious, and I second guess myself a lot, and I overthink, and sometimes me doing that fucks up my chances of me getting a high ass score than I, initially can get. So when I got that, I was the happiest girl alive, because I'm like, I said I got exactly what I didn't want to get a 75. Fuck no, because if I got a 75, that shit would have disappointed me, because I'm like, damn girl, you didn't study that hard in order for you to get a higher than a 75. I got an 80. I got an 80. I got an 80. So when I did that, I'm like, yes, I am fucking licensed. I can officially do color, officially do color in the salon, start everything I need to start doing for myself as far as like, getting my education and just doing everything I need to do in order to excel for my career. And chemicals was the one thing that I needed in order to excel. So when I got my license, I'm like, nice. The salon, I'm finna have a great summer at the salon. I'm finna do everything that I need to do as far as like, upping my prices and adding in color services and just learning more about everything. I was also the manager of beauty underneath the salon that I was working at. I was also the manager. So I got promoted to be a manager while also graduating everything, needed to do everything. I was doing everything in that salon. I was cleaning it. I was like making sure we were good on supplies, like communicating with my teacher and everything to make sure we had everything we needed. So I was doing all this, bro. Listen to this timeline. School. I was in school. While I was in school while I was in school about a year ago, started working in the salon, built my clientele up. Then by the time I graduated, I passed my boards with a high-ass grade. I passed my cosmetology exam. I'm already working in the salon, got promoted to being the manager, helping the salon, you know, promote the salon, do everything I need to do in order for the salon to be noticed and everything, until the salon closed down, bro. That shit had me very sad. 2 weeks before June 1st, Miss T had came to us, all the girls in the salon, and basically told us that the salon is going to be closing down, and like, you know, she's going to be doing other things or whatever for her life and all that, and that, you know, I knew that it was gonna happen. Not even gonna lie, I fucking knew, because it definitely, I had a feeling that change was gonna happen. Before that meeting happened, I literally got so many confirmations from God that some sort of change was gonna happen in my life. And so in my head, I'm like, fuck. I gotta be prepared for whatever the fuck is about to happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. I gotta accept what is gonna happen, because, you know, God is going to keep putting me in places and situations where I need to evolve. So I was just like, fuck. I was trying to think about what is happening. Like, is it my relationship? Is it like something with my family relationship? Is it like, you know, my job? Is it whatever the fuck? Like, I'm just like, what is going on? Is it me? What's happening? So she texted us saying we're gonna have a meeting. Mind you, she ain't even asked none of us if this meeting, if y'all are free, what time are y'all free so we can have this meeting. When she told us the day and the exact time, and it was in person, I was overthinking. I didn't know what to think, so I kept thinking positive things. I'm like, fuck, like, I really hope this doesn't have anything to do with my job. The day of the meeting, the morning of the meeting, I had 2 clients that day. And I was texting my lover, and I told him, I was like, I said, I'm very scared because I don't know what to expect later. Like, I really don't know. I told him, I said, what if I lose my job? Like, what if I lose my job? And that's what this meeting is about. And he was like, don't think positive. It's probably just, you know, her, like, you know, like this and that. Like, he was just telling me to think positive and stuff like that, you know? And so I'm trying to think positive, but then I'm like, okay. So then 5 o'clock is approaching. I'm done with my clients. My clients are done cleaning up and everything, making sure the salon is good, you know, folding towels and stuff like that. Everybody else is coming in. Me and a coworker chopping it up and shit. And I told her that across the street, the barbershop closed down and shit. And she was like, are you serious? She was like, what if we're closing down? I said, nah, we not gonna close down. Miss T come in, basically tell us the salon is closing down. Bro, shit's crazy, but I understand everything. That day when I found out the salon was closing down, I hit up my connection. I told her that, I told her, her name is Sil. I told her, I said, hey Sil, I wanted to ask you more about about my interest in Ulta. The salon that I'm working for is permanently closing down in exactly 2 weeks, and I want to, you know, work for Ulta. And so she was like, okay, bet, send me an email. I sent her an email saying I'm interested, and then in that she said she's gonna apply to my email in the morning and everything, and tag who needed to be tagged in there and everything. And so she sent me a link to apply at Ulta. So what I did, I applied at the Ulta in DeKalb, because at the moment I thought, you know, like, I was supposed to still be in DeKalb. And so I applied. Mind you, days go by, still didn't get nothing, still didn't hear from anything, didn't hear from nobody. So something kept telling me, and it was my intuition, and I know it was God talking to me through me, because there was a voice in my fucking head, and it was me, sounded like me. They kept saying Chicago, Ulta Beauty. Because even the week, even a couple days before we found out that the salon was closing down, something kept telling me, you need to look into Ulta. You need to look into Ulta, contact Sil, contact Sil. And when that happened, immediately I'm like, I need to do this. So literally, I applied to 17 different locations in the city of Chicago. If you didn't know, I was raised in Chicago. I wasn't born there. So I was raised in Chicago, and I've always wanted to go back. Even after I left for NIU, I've always told myself that I wanted to come back and live my adult life in the city before I have children. So I didn't realize that my manifestation was going to come true, you know? So I decided to just apply at all the Ultas in different locations everywhere around Chicago. I literally applied. Days go by, I get a first phone call. Then that same day, I get another phone call. I get another phone call. They're all from Ulta locations. I'm like, shit is coming in. So I heard from 3 different Ulta locations within those days. I called one back, couldn't get the other person. Then someone else called me. I answered. Me and her spoke on the phone. And it's the location that I am working at now. So this is leading up to me basically saying I am officially a stylist at Ulta Beauty. I am officially a stylist at Ulta Beauty. So by the time you see this, I am gonna already be working at Ulta. So if you're in Chicago and you're looking for a stylist, come see me. I do everything. I do curly hair. I do fine hair. Haircuts. Blowouts. Flat iron. Different types of natural styles. Come at me, bro. My hands are diverse. I don't discriminate. The location that I am going to be working at now, I literally spoke to the general manager of that store, and me and her were hitting it off. She was cool as hell on the phone and everything, and we booked an in-person interview for me to have. That interview showed me my future. It was a great interview. She gave me a tour. The other one didn't even give me a tour. She introduced herself to me, told me the truth about herself and everything. The other one didn't even do none of that. She introduced me to some of the girls that were there. It was great. Like, it was great. I ended up getting the second interview, which was a technical interview. I did my technical interview, and they called me a week ago, told me I got the position, and I accepted that position. So now I am officially a stylist at Ulta, and I'm very excited. I'm very nervous because obviously it's a different environment, and I'm not going to be in DeKalb anymore. I've been in DeKalb for 8 years. I didn't even realize that it's been that long, but it's my time to go back somewhere else. And being in DeKalb, there's no opportunity for me. It makes me sad because a lot of my clients are in DeKalb, and the ones who are loyal to me, they definitely still want me to still do their hair. So whoever is coming to see me at Ulta, I love them. But yeah, DeKalb ain't it for me anymore. It's just something that I don't have any opportunity there. I feel like in DeKalb, nobody is licensed, so it's really hard to be able to be in a salon that has people that are licensed. It's very hard to build in DeKalb. Like, everybody is cheap as fuck out there. Like, nobody want to spend no money to do their hair and shit, take care of themselves. So that was one thing that really made me like, alright, I do need to get out of DeKalb because ain't shit here for me. Honestly, the confirmations was all there for me. My apartment, I ended up breaking my lease and leaving my apartment because I couldn't afford it anymore. Like, I really couldn't afford it. Like, being in school and then doing hair was very hard because school was taking up majority of my time, and then like being a stylist in the salon, I'm building myself up. So it was definitely very hard. I miss my apartment so much. I really do miss it. But it is what it is. I had my time there with everything. I had an amazing time in my apartment, but it just started to feel like it wasn't home anymore, you know? So I just decided that I needed to move on. So for some time I was living with my lover because I needed to still be in DeKalb because the salon was still running. So when the salon closed down, that was my second confirmation that I am not meant to be in DeKalb anymore. My apartment was gone. Salon closed down. Like, third, I didn't want to find out the third. So I literally, when I was applying in Chicago, that was literally my out. That was my out to get out of DeKalb. Is that if I find a job as a stylist in the city, that I was gonna get out. Mind you, my parents, they live closer to the city, so traveling from my parents to the city is gonna be a great experience. It's gonna be great because I haven't lived with my parents in fucking a long ass time, so they're gonna be learning me and I'm gonna be learning them all over again. They're gonna learn adult Paula and I'm gonna learn them. That's a pretty boat. That's such a pretty ass boat. God has shown me that it is okay to, you know, let go of things. It is okay to let go of fear and to just let him guide and to just like figure out where life is taking you, honestly. I am happy with how my life is going right now because, like I said, I've been wanting to work in the city for some years now, and I'm very happy that I get to experience this, to be honest, especially doing something that I love. Honestly, doing the thing that I love is really what's making me happy about this whole journey. I get to have I get to be at Ulta, bro. Like, I love Ulta. Doing hair at Ulta, like I said, my hands are diverse, and that was the one thing that I also even wanted, was just for my chair to be more diverse. I'm happy, but I'm just it's nerve-wracking. It's very nerve-wracking, bro. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot. I graduated cosmetology school, became a manager of Beauty Underneath, a hair salon. The salon ended up closing down, and I networked my ass off. Now I am officially going to be working at Ulta. Well, like I said, by the time you see this, I am working at Ulta already as a hairstylist. I am moving in with my parents at 27. I am leaving DeKalb after 8 years. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I have questions for myself about my whole transition and everything. How do I feel about everything? I'm the only black person here in this area right now. I ain't dying. I'm making it out alive. Let's see, how do I feel about everything? I'm just ready. I'm ready to let go of fear. I'm ready to finally evolve my career. I'm ready to continue to keep learning. I'm ready to just like be open to doing so many different people's hair and helping people take care of their hair. I'm ready to finally be on the next stage in my life. This has been a very pivotal point in my life with everything that's going on, and the one thing that I remember my mentor telling me was that I have to remember everything that I've accomplished. I remember speaking to her. She had told me, reflected back to me everything that I told her, and she was like, Paula, like, you have done so much within your career already that a lot of people don't even do when they, when they're stylists. People don't even get the chance of graduating and being able to be in a salon and being a manager of a salon and doing the things that I'm able to do, you know? Like, especially with me learning so many things that I've learned on my own while I was in the salon, as far as when it comes to hair and different techniques and everything, aside from school. Like, she had me remember, like, you know, your journey is very different and you need to embrace that shit. And that's the one thing that I have definitely been doing, is embracing that shit, because I'm great, but I know I could be fucking extraordinary, and that's the thing that I'm thriving for, is to be extraordinary in my life. So I feel really, I've accepted everything. I've accepted everything because I know these are things that are going to help me continue to build my character, because that's all I strive for, is continue to have character momentum, to continue to strive through God, and to continue to be happy with where I'm at in life. Like, you know, I'm just excited for everything. Yeah, I'm excited for everything. I'm excited for this new change in my life. Living with my parents. I love my parents. I come from a 2-parent household. Love my parents. But they can get on my nerves, especially my father, but it's all out of love. It's all out of love, but it's gonna be great because I'm gonna be learning more from them. They're gonna be learning more from me, so it's definitely a benefit in areas of my life that I'm grateful to be able to just accept. And honestly, it's gonna save me a lot of money, like, especially in this economy. Very, very hard to live on your own, to be honest. Like, the amount of money and shit is just expensive. I also asked myself why change is good. Change is good because we want to continue to keep elevating in life. We do not want to be stagnant. I do not want to be stagnant. I don't want to be stuck in the same place for the rest of my life. I refuse to be stuck in the same place for the rest of my life. I want to keep elevating. I want to keep getting great. I want to keep being great. I want to continue to be able to show myself to the world and be able to let the world know the knowledge that I know. You know? Change is great. Change is great. If you're not changing and doing different things every single year for your life, then you're doing it wrong, bro. Like, how are you happy with just keeping the same things happening every single day or every single year? Like, something has to change. Something has to change. But that's the one thing that I've been getting comfortable with. And the reason why change is so good for me is because it is allowing me to be patient with everything in my life. I tell God exactly what I want and how I want things to go for my life, and God is structuring it the way that I am meant to go through things, you know? And so that is why I am accepting change, and why change is good for me, is because it's allowing me to be patient. And that's the one thing that was always hard for me, was being patient. I always used to rush things. I always used to rush the process, but now it's just patience is key. Consistency is key, and everything in my life has been just consistent, but within change for my life. So I'm grateful that I'm able to still continue to pursue my career, because that was the one thing that I was worried about, is my career. I didn't want Beauty Underneath to be the last, but it wasn't. Beauty Underneath was the start of my career. It got me to where I am today, and I'm able to move on and accept that it was my first love for my career, and now I'm moving on to, you know, bigger and better things for myself. What motivates me to keep going? What motivates me to keep going is basically just that passion, the passion I get to continue to want better for myself. The way I want to live my life, the way I want to do things for my life, that's what keeps me going. God is what keeps me going. He motivates me a lot in order to do the things I'm able to do. A lot of things in my life have been very challenging, and I've been trying to push myself to get out of my comfort zone and do things that I'm not used to doing. So yeah, I just, you know, just try to push myself. Be a little daredevil once in a while. A little risky. What am I excited for? I'm excited to see what my life is gonna look like in 6 months. I'm ready for my 6-month progress. I'm ready to truly see how I'm gonna be able to juggle everything, you know. Everything comes with learning, everything comes with challenges, so I'm ready for that. Honestly, I'm ready for the next challenge. I'm ready to just continue to be humble and to continue to receive like more education, to receive more clients to be able to take care of, more loyal people, honestly, in my life, to be able to meet different types of people, continue networking, to continue to, you know, do hair, everything. That's what I'm looking forward to. And building relationships with my parents. Since I'm living with them, that's the one thing that I'm definitely like looking forward to within my journey, is just continuing to build a strong foundation with my parents. I love them so much, and I'm the one sibling that's around, so I get to cherish them on my own without my brothers. Do I feel like I'm moving backwards, or am I moving forward? I don't feel like I'm moving backwards at all. At first, like before, when I was like going through it years ago, I used to be like, damn, like I'm moving backwards in my life and shit. And I used to be like, I don't want to move back in with my parents. I need to be able to afford this. I need to be able to afford that. And I was only trying to prove that to myself. But because I was too stubborn on proving shit to myself, I didn't realize like there's still things for you to learn from your parents. Like, if you have to move back home, okay. Like, and I think that's the one thing that 27 has been teaching me. Like, I don't know, since I turned 27, my brain has been altered. It's been altered, but since, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm moving forward. Like, even if I am moving back in with my parents and I haven't lived with them in so long, but I still have a room, so whenever I come back home to come visit, I have a bedroom. I'm the only girl and the baby, so don't judge me. If you judging me, you're just hating. But yeah, I'm not moving backwards. I'm definitely moving forward. There's so many things in my life that I'm going to be experiencing that I'm excited for, things that I've never done before, things that I'm ready for, that God believes I'm ready for. So I'm ready, baby. I'm ready. Like, I'm not backing down on shit. But yeah. 27 years old. I'm 27 years old. And I am building my career, building my life. I'm doing everything that I need to do in order to, you know, succeed and set my life up the way I want it. So I'm ready. I'm ready. Hey, you know how hard it was for me to open up to you guys in this video today? I felt like I rambled, but I felt like I said a pretty much good amount of things. If you are my age and you're watching this video, or you're around my age, or if you're a little bit younger than me, like younger, I want to say like maybe like in your younger 20s, like 22, 23, do not be scared. I know it's scary to think about like, oh, like I don't have this shit in my life yet. I don't have this and that. It is okay, bro. If I could go back in time and I tell my 21-year-old self, like, girl, you are going to find the thing you enjoy and make money out of it in due time. I was stressing, but right now I'm in my later 20s and I still feel young. I don't feel old. I still feel like I'm able to build my life and, you know, continue to start from scratch. Like I'm not starting necessarily at zero. I am starting at a different pivot point in my life, and that is completely okay. Like, it is completely okay to have a pivot point. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Trust in God. If you believe in God, trust in God. If you believe in the Spirit, trust in Spirit. Those white boys was on the rocks. They said that they was gonna get a $95 ticket if they don't get off the rocks. Or is it $195? Some shit. But yeah, man. I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh yeah. Don't stress yourself out. We are still young. I am 27 years young. I am only 7 years into my 20s. I'm doing everything I need to be doing right now. Everything that I'm doing in my life is meant for me to do. God has been showing me the path. God has been guiding me. God has been allowing me to be me, you know? And that's the one thing that I am pushing myself to do, is continue to be me in the spaces that God is putting me in. I'm not changing myself. I don't give a fuck who doesn't like me. I don't give a fuck who, like, you know, says certain shit about me. Who gives a fuck? Like, if you don't have haters, you ain't doing shit in your life, honestly. So I'm doing fucking great. But yeah, man. Yeah. Life is scary at times, but I've been pretty much calm about everything that's been going on, to be honest. To be honest. It's so hot. If you watch this video all the way through, I hope it gives you peace. I hope it gives you clarity. I hope that you stop overthinking and do what you want to do and do what's right for you. I hope that you are happy and that you are finding peace within yourself. The cantaloupe is juicy. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to get my life. I'm trying to get my life. I'm not trying to get left behind. So I'm doing everything that I need to do in order to succeed with God's guidance. I hope you have a great rest of your day today. And like I said, by the time you see me, I'm gonna be a stylist at Ulta. So if you live in the Chicago area, in the Illinois area, wherever you live, come see me at Ulta Beauty. Book an appointment and ask for Paulo, so we can have some time together and we can get to know each other better, and I can take care of your hair. So go ahead and book that appointment with me. I would love to take care of your hair and allow you to love your hair. So thank you for watching my video today. I will see you later, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Enjoy it. Enjoy life. Cry. Laugh. Get mad. Shit, do whatever you need to do so you are able to do what you gotta do. Be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Always. 100%. That's my motto that I always go by, because it allows me to realize, stop being so comfortable, boy. Stop being so comfortable. You're getting too comfortable. You stagnant. Something gotta pick up. So yeah, be comfortable with the uncomfortable. I will see you later. Bye.